Hey guys, my name's Rudy. I'm part of the James Hart class of 2025, and I'm here to tell you guys how to maximize your day at Six Flags Great America in Gurnee, Illinois on the jazz trip, or just visiting in general. First, you're going to need to know some definitions. Wing coaster means coasters where the seats hang off the sides of the track and not on top. Inverted coaster, which means a roller coaster that hangs under the track. Inversion, any part of a roller coaster that goes upside down. Hypercoaster, meaning any roller coaster over 200 feet. Flying coaster, which means a roller coaster that has your back facing the track and simulates flying. And airtime, which means the feeling of negative g-forces acting on your body, which pushes you up and into your harness. Thanks, and let's get into it. Six Flags Great America opened on May 29th, 1976 as Marriott's Great America. It was actually built by the Marriott Hotel Company with two other twin parks planned to be opened. One of the parks wasn't built, so there are two Great Americas, one in Illinois and one in California. Both parks were themed around American history, but we'll focus on just the Illinois parks theming today. These had Looney Tunes theming, which is still in the park today. The theme sections were County Fair, Southwest Territory, Hometown Square, Yukon Territory, themed like the Yukon Territory in Canada, Carousel Plaza, which served as the park's main street, Key Harbor, which is themed off New England, and Orleans Place, which is themed to the French Quarter in New Orleans. The notable original rides were Whizzer, a good family coaster that's still around today, the Columbia Carousel, which is still here today at the front of the park, the Whitewater Rampage, which is a really fun water ride that runs through a long river, Turn of the Century, now Demon, a looping corkscrew coaster, and Skywhirl, a triple-armed Ferris wheel. Shortly added was the Skytrek Tower, which is a 310-foot tall observation tower that is a park icon today. A very good roller coaster that was opened then was American Eagle, which was once the tallest, fastest, and longest racing roller coaster in the world. This means that there are two trains that have nearly identical tracks that race each other. The Great America parks were sold to Six Flags and the city of Santa Clara, California, respectively, after financial hardship. Six Flags acquired the rights to Looney Tunes, and the cartoons and characters are still shown in the park today. The park is now Six Flags Great America, a standout park in the Six Flags chain. Modern rides. There are many rides at Great America, and they have their ups and downs. Yeah, I'm not funny. Anyways, there are good and bad rides at Great America. Some notable ones are Raging Bull, a hypercoaster with large, graceful hills and a fun ride in general. Max Force, a powerful launch coaster that has the fastest accelerating launch in the world. Viper, a satisfying wooden coaster with a long ride time. American Eagle, a massive wooden coaster with many hills. X-Flight, a wing coaster with many graceful inversions. Batman, an intense inverted coaster with many inversions. Demon, a rough roller coaster with several inversions. Flash, Vertical Velocity, a launched roller coaster that goes back and forth through spikes. The Dark Knight, an indoor roller coaster with sharp turns that is heavily themed to the 2008 movie Batman the Dark Knight starring Christian Bale. Goliath, a massive wooden coaster with few inversions known for its airtime. Joker, a free spin coaster that spins each seat randomly. Sky Striker, a massive pendulum ride that swings back and forth reaching heights of 170 feet. Giant Drop, a drop tower that drops you from 227 feet and is themed around a coal mine from the 1800s. Condor, which is a ride that spins you around in a bird-themed car and brings you up 112 feet. Justice League Battle for Metropolis, which is a ride that takes you through different levels depending on how well you do at shooting enemies on a screen, and overall is about saving Metropolis. Roaring Rapids, a river rapids ride that traverses a long river. Loggers Run, which simulates loggers in the north who used to ride logs down rivers. Aquaman Splashdown, formerly Yankee Clipper, which is similar to Loggers Run but is known for having a slightly better layout, and the Skytrek Tower, a 310-foot tall observation tower that gives you excellent views of the park. I'll just name off a few rides that are less notable but still fun. The Scenic Railway Train Ride, Triple Play, Ricochet, Big Easy Balloons, Chubasco, the Columbia Carousel, DC Supervillain Swing, formerly Whirligig, Fiddler's Fling, Hometown Fun Machine, Little Dipper, River Rocker, Rula Dodge Bumper Cars, Sprocket Rockets, The Lobster, and Winner's Circle Go-Karts. Costs extra. Ride safety. Ride safety is a very important part of your day but should be trusted. Roller coasters have a plethora of safety features that are meticulously designed to keep you as safe as possible. Just to name a few, some of them are hydraulic cylinders that keep your restraint on you, clearance checks to make sure you or the train doesn't hit anything, upstop wheels, which keep the roller coaster on the track, constant maintenance, which can sometimes be up to 8 hours before every day to make sure riders are safe, and the restraints physically not being able to open during the ride. Block zones, which make sure that there's only one train on a specific part of the track at a time, and a sensitive computer that stops the ride on the lift hill if even something as minor as weather or a bird on the track happens, and keeps riders safe at all times. They also enforce policies like no loose articles, no phones on rides, and weight and height requirements that are set by the ride's manufacturer to keep everyone safe on some of the most thrilling rides in the world. It's also good to remember that no one kind of restraint is safer than others. You're much more likely to drown in a bathtub, win the lottery, get struck by lightning 5 times, or get eaten by a shark than die on a roller coaster. It's so irrational to fear them than just the drive there in the first place. You have a 1 in 750 million chance of dying on a roller coaster and a 1 in 10,000 chance of dying in a car accident. That's one person every 10 minutes. That's the equivalent of a full Airbus A380 plane crashing every day. Think of everybody you know that got in a car accident. Now think of the people you know who have gotten in a roller coaster accident. Most roller coaster related deaths are caused by idiots taking out their phone to record, then they drop it and it hits someone. Keep in mind that even if you stop on the lift hill or launch of the ride, you just have to walk down some stairs and get a free t-shirt and skip the line passes. Know that you're safe and you're going to have a great time. What to wear? I'd recommend wearing just a couple of things to the park the day we go. Clothes with zipper or Velcro pockets are very handy when you're trying to ride something and then have stuff like phones, lanyards, wallets, money, AirPods, gum, necklaces, etc. So you don't have to give your stuff to somebody that chickened out and didn't go on, or somebody that chose to stay off to keep everybody's stuff. I'd also recommend bringing a light backpack or a drawstring bag to keep merch, water bottles, drink bottles, and other things. They also have loose article bins or sections to hold cups and other things, so those are some things you can wear to maximize your day. In these sections, I'm going to be talking about my personal opinions about the park, which I would recommend you follow, but you don't really have to. Tips, tricks about food and merch. There's so much to do and eat at Great America that it might get overwhelming. Just like the outside world, there are some restaurants that are pretty good and some that are really bad, and you can't risk getting a bad meal in a theme park where a slice of pizza is $16. We're gonna have a food plan when we go on the trip, which includes a meal, snack, and a drink. These symbols show what items you can get in each restaurant, the M for meal and S for snack. If you go in the future and plan to get food there, get the one-day dining deal or add a dining plan onto your season pass. If this is your first time and you want to go again with your family more than once in a given year, I'd recommend getting season passes because it's astronomically cheaper to get that than pay admission. And if you get any kind of pass, get it online because it's twice as expensive at the gate. Meaning that admission would be $90. That's almost Disney prices. Here are some places you should not go to and things you shouldn't get. Upcharge items unless you really want it. Claim Jumper's chicken because it's dry and tough. Boba because it's like $15 for one drink and not included on the meal plan. Any hot dog or corn dog because it's barely any food. Fudge or expensive candy, or plain nachos or churros at Coke stands because they're expensive and not satiating. You can refill your green cup at any restaurant or refill stand, but with the green cup you'll have to pay like $7 if you want to reuse it another day. Another thing, don't drink too much soda as it makes you really thirsty and parched, so maybe alternate between soda and water. You can put the cups in designated cup holders at every ride. Some good food options are TJ's Barbecue in the Southwest area, now Windy City Sports Bar, the Bourbon Street Cafe in the Orleans Place area, either of the Johnny Rockets restaurants, Macho Nacho Street Tacos in the main food court, Strutter's Chicken Sandwiches in Hometown Square, and Six Below Ice Cream. There are some pretty good shops, and some are very different than others. Usually the ones that are connected or related to a specific ride have the most of that ride's merch. Merch in general is pretty expensive, and I'd recommend bringing about $50 to $75 if you want to spend money at the park. So you can maybe get a hoodie and a souvenir. I wouldn't recommend getting things like fudge or lots of candy at these stores because they'll make you feel like crap. It's not fun walking multiple miles around the park each day only to feel bad while doing it. There's some shops that are non-specific, like the ones as you exit, which usually have general Great America merch. It's important to remember that you can still have a good time if you don't spend anything. Ride tips and tricks. There are some important things I think you should know about rides. Sometimes rides just aren't worth the wait, and some are good enough to wait a couple hours. In this section, I'm going to be talking about how long the line for each roller coaster needs it to be for it to not be worth riding. About 45 minutes for American Eagle, 50 minutes for Batman the Ride, 20 minutes for Dark Knight, 5 minutes for Demon, 30 minutes for Flash, 45 minutes for Goliath, just don't write Joker, 5 minutes for Little Dipper, 1 hour for Max Force, an hour and a half for Raging Bull, 5 minutes for Sprocket Rockets, 30 minutes for Superman Ultimate Flight, 30 minutes for Viper, 30 minutes for Whizzer, and 50 minutes for X-Flight. If you choose to go during Fright Fest, you're cooked. Lines can get so long to the point where it's only worth it to just go on the haunted houses. There's a skip the line pass off your phone that is called the Flash Pass, where you can wait in line virtually for $25 and get unlimited skip the lines for $125. I would say that if you want to ride a bunch of stuff, I'd recommend it, or if it's busy. Some rides have a single rider line where you can sit in any open seat that they assign to you for a shorter wait. I would say that the front row on rides gives you the best view, and the back row gives you the best forces. I would say to ride in the back on Goliath, Raging Bull, Viper, and American Eagle, and in the front on Batman, Max Force, Superman, and Wrath of Rakshasa. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. I would say that if you haven't been on a roller coaster before, I think you should ride Whizzer, X-Flight, Raging Bull. Just remember to have a good time and don't chicken out. Hurricane Harbor. Hurricane Harbor is a great water park and is totally separate from Great America. They have tons of slides and pools, and a massive wave pool that has 500,000 gallons of water in it. My favorite slides are Tsunami Surge, a water coaster that propels you using jets of water, Wahoo Racer, which you race each other on mats, and Tornado, which sends you down a huge cone. Some good food places are Saltwater Sal's Fish and Chips and Paradise Pizza. Hurricane Harbor is a great experience and one of my favorite water parks. Great America is one of my favorite theme parks and the one I go to most often. It has some of my favorite roller coasters, some great food, and some great memories. I had a fun time working on this video and riding all the rides, and I hope you can too. Please check the description, and thank you to Airtime Thrills, Coast Tunes, Canopy Coaster, and others for inspiration and clips from this video. Thanks so much. See you in the next one. Peace.